My mother-in-law shot my husband.
Shot, like,
Yeah, shot her own son, drowned my son.
Oh,
and then
Jehovah.
she tried to kill herself, commit suicide
Yeah.
by cutting her wrist, but she survived.
Do you have any regrets in
100.
childhood? Yeah.
Yeah, because like I always say to people, that's why I don't stay in. If a relationship is smelling funny,
Yeah.
I leave. I pack and I leave. I don't care what. Definition of love is even when the one that you love has hurt you, you still need to forgive them and pray to ask God to understand why they did that.
Yeah.
And also, we always pray to say, this person must change. This person must change. No, sometimes we need to ask God to say, Lord, give me the understanding to understand that person.
Yeah.
Because once you understand that person, certain things won't irritate your spirit anymore. You know one thing about me, I say, if you haven't worn my shoes, don't judge me.
Yeah.
And I don't care what you think about me. But I've never co-parented with any of my baby daddies. I've been blessed to just raise my kids on my own. Because God knows the pain I come from.
Yeah.
And I've never had any maintenance, any support. I do it. I'm the alpha and omega.
Dumelang and welcome to Bond and Blend with Mmaletsalo, the show that presents both challenges and joys of blended family lives. I am your host, Mmaletsalo Ngwechia. You guys know, Yabana Ring. Oh, sana. Ke gola ke tseba gore ba re matla mosadi a fele. Despite all the challenges a woman can go through, despite all the trials and tribulation a woman can go through, they still find a way to come back to life. Ke gola koko ka ang whisperela that in my ear, loudly, so that when I grow, I've realized that a woman can fall 20 times, can fall I don't know how many times, but a moment she will stand up again, you won't recognize her. You will never even think of this woman has fallen more than once or twice. This woman Uwile, this woman Ramotso Shakofas. In today's episode, we will be unfolding a beautiful journey of a woman that fell and came back. A journey of a woman that fell in relationship and still bounced back, financially and still bounced back. And it's such testimonies that we need. And as women out there, they strengthen us. Or you can be in whatever situation, it is still your choice that you can make to bounce back. You still have the opportunity to bounce back. Be it your baby daddy has left, be it there's no maintenance money that's been paid, you can still find your way back as long as you are in the arms of the Lord. Itumeleng, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
And welcome to Bond and Blend.
Thank you, Miss T.
You're looking pretty.
Thank you so much. Same to you.
Shoo, Sana, tell me, what's your favorite song?
My favorite song? It's Khoto. I just don't know his name. I just like the song. I didn't Totsaka. Odiwana Disakopan.
Oh!
Esalibusiu. Mudimu Sakopans.
Do you know how to sing?
Adin Totsaka Diwana Disakopani. Esalibusiu. Mudimu Sakopanza. Skansheba Wanyasa.
Sana!
Yes.
I love the part where he says, Skansheba Wanyasa.
Wanyasa.
And I always pray, gore modimo untushe, ibile unrute, gore ke seke, ka lebella batho fase, because oftentimes we are too quick go lebella motho mo judge and then o monyaje.
True.
So, looking back into this past week, what would you change about it?
Looking back in this past week, there's nothing I would change but appreciate. Because I realized the support that I have from my father. Our relationship it had gone a bit bad.
Yeah.
Not bad, but it was not where I would love for it to have been. And now it's back where I wanted to be, where I needed to be. And having had my father here for 2 weeks, I just realized I'm so lucky because he'll go watch the girls go play netball, my daughters. And I come home, he's there already at the gate to offload my car with work stuff. So I was just this week appreciating
Ooh, what a
having
beautiful week.
a father, because some people don't know what it feels like to have
I'm one
a
of them.
dad. Yes.
That's
So
a beautiful
I appreciate
thing.
my dad.
What's the definition of love to you?
Definition of love is kindness, obviously. But definition of love is even when the one that you love has hurt you, you still need to forgive them and pray to ask God to understand why they did that.
Yeah.
And also, we always pray to say, this person must change. This person must change. No, sometimes we need to ask God to say, Lord, give me the understanding to understand that person.
Yeah.
Because once you understand that person, certain things won't irritate your spirit anymore. So that's a definition of love, to say that understanding that loved ones will hurt you. Because that's how your love has been tested by loved ones.
Sure.
Yes.
Test of character, they said. What's the Bible verse that carries you?
There's a Bible verse called a plague woman, a woman of noble character.
Yeah.
So this Bible verse speaks of a woman of noble character, like she carries her family. She makes sure she supplies for her family. And not only her family, even her next door neighbors and anyone that walks past. And I have realized I am that woman because I share. I don't care who you are. I know you. I don't know you. I will share with you and I will give you my all. Like, I won't give you something because of I just want to. I will give you my all. If I have, why not?
Why sharing?
Because if you don't share, I'll pay. You're not a human being. Because in life we're made for each other. Whether you know me, you don't know me. It's like when you go buy groceries, right? And you find those trolley guys there to assist you.
Yeah.
You know you don't have coins, right?
Sure.
You don't know. Before he touches your trolley, tell that guy, I don't have any coins, right? But you know that you've bought extra bread, or you bought apples, or you bought something that you know, milk, a box of milk. I take out maybe 1 pint of milk and give him, or apples and give, or bread, a whole loaf of bread.
I never thought of it that way. What's it?
I do that.
Sure.
I will not. I remember a guy, I had dried fruits.
Yeah.
And I just said, I don't have money, but let's share some dried fruits.
Sure.
And he was so excited because he had never tasted dried fruits. So he had an experience just because of me being kind by not giving him money because I didn't have. But those fruits made a difference to him.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know, the reason why I'm saying to you, why sharing? It's because my kids will now and again sing a song, Mama, sharing it's caring. Sharing it's caring. Then I want to understand the deep part where we're saying, sharing it's caring. What does it really, really, really mean? And clearly, it must make you happy.
Yes.
Yes. You must feel good about it.
Yes, because God is love. You cannot say, I always say to people, there's a lot of women and men that say, I'm a man of God. I'm a woman of God. Woman of God is a big, big word.
Yeah.
And you have to carry it. You have to carry it in every aspect of your life. Whether you're at the shops, you're at a family, you're with your kids.
It's a responsibility.
It's big responsibilities. So I always say, you can't say you're a woman of God and not share.
Yeah.
Because God is love. Even God last one randa how if I'm to all.
Sure.
Trust me, it will come back.
Clearly sharing is caring, guys.
100%.
Share. I've learned something today. Like most of the time, when I don't have a coin, I'll just say, no, thank you. Akina the coin. And I feel bad of not giving you anything. I can even pull from there. Yes. It will make a difference.
100%.
It doesn't matter what you share.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Guys, safunda every day of our lives. What's your favorite meal? This one, how is Jile?
I'm a seafood girl. I'm a prawns girl.
Where do you come from?
I'm black, mara guys. Somewhere. I
wanna understand.
Like I expose you to the nicer things in life. I think that's why I'm humble. Because I didn't grow up Kisokola.
Oh,
I was taught to go kamo so khwasa wa se fela go gating. Ha re tsana re bana ba mabedi. And my mom and dad have always taught me, you don't show who you are. Who you
Yes.
are.
Yeah.
So I grew up nice, but we never showed that we grew up nice because my dad always said, "Aba fitla ba ja masonja le tlo aja."
Mara seafood ra go gotse gabotse, hence I'm asking gore o tswa kae.
Oh, okay.
At this point.
We grew up. I grew up in Joburg.
Yeah.
I had the fortune of growing up with a lot of artists around me. With Johnny Clegg, Dunokwe, Motsepe. Yeah, I was very exposed. Bupumeza. Yeah, so Pumeza and I were best friends actually growing up.
Sure.
Yeah, so my parents then, I was staying opposite Shell House.
Yeah.
Then my parents, I think I was 11 or 12. Then my parents bought our property. And then we moved to Highlands North. And then that's where we've been. I moved back home when things didn't work out with my ex. Then that's who I am. I get Highlands North, and then obviously there's Polokwane.
Okay,
that's
Polokwane
my
way.
roots. I'm Amabolo side.
Okay,
yes.
Then hence
yes,
seafood wouldn't be on my favorite list.
Yeah, it wouldn't
because
be.
No. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
hence the question of the seafood. So now I want you to take me back in depth into your childhood life.
Okay.
Ke nyaka go tseba gabotsebotse gore ga mama bolo o tlogile jwang.
Yes.
Like the kind of family setup you grew up in, your siblings, how many are you? That bit of a background.
Okay, so like I said, we grew up in Joburg, and then we moved to Highlands North. I had a nice childhood. I'm a sports girl, as you know.
Yeah.
I played netball, I did athletics, I did swimming. There's no sports that I did. I think my mom was just so tired because she had to attend sports literally every weekend. But I have two brothers. My mom, when she got married, she came with a son who's late. He passed on, so I've got two brothers.
Okay.
So I'm the firstborn to my dad.
I see.
Yes, and I'm my dad's only princess.
Yeah,
yes. And then but I went to good schools.
Yeah.
My parents did invest.
Oh,
it's just life had its ups and downs.
Yeah.
You know, financially things changed. Business for my dad crashed. But we had a very good life. My parents have always been my support structure.
Yeah.
Especially when I lost my husband and my son.
Yeah.
Like that's where I saw family, guys. I don't care who says what. You need them. My brothers, and I've got a very good relationship with my brothers.
Yeah.
Like I don't remember us fighting. No. We have disagreements, like me being the older one to say, no. I've passed this path.
Yeah.
The drinking, smoking.
Yeah.
Drink, smoke, but don't abuse. Party, but don't abuse, certain things because you've passed through that. But otherwise, we're a very close family. We can sit and laugh.
That's beautiful.
And we're a family that prays.
Yeah.
Every achievement, even if I tell my mom I was on your podcast, she's going to kneel down and pray. And say, thank you, Lord, for my child to know the podcast.
I love that. And most families back in the days, that's what we used to see and witness every time. Or we are the holiday seeing. Like, and you would feel so safe.
Warm.
And I am here to call out Basadi Brothers Days, the new mothers. Guys, hold in prayers so that our children witness us because nothing is ours. A lady who just got in the podcast, it's God borrowing us. So now and again we need to be grateful so that our kids can learn this thing through
100%.
us. I've learned a lot. My grandmother would literally when you got back,
yes, thank you.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
What would you tell the young Tumi?
The young ones.
No, the young Tumi.
The young Tumi.
The young you.
The young me, I wish I didn't make wrong decisions in relationships.
Okay.
The young Tumi should have just focused.
Yeah.
I was a very bubbly girl.
Yeah.
My mom used to say, what do you want to be? I said, I'm a butterfly. So you can't just be a butterfly. So I'm a butterfly. So you see, I think you can. Someone said I'm not even afraid of color because I always want to express myself with color and stuff. But the younger version, I wish I wouldn't have gotten into not good relationships. Like I said, there was a point in my life where my dad and I's relationship was not okay. Where I needed him, he was not there at that time. And I don't blame him. Lena, he had to go through his own things. Everyone has their own journey.
Of course.
But I would have not met the people that I was with or went and looked for love in the wrong places.
Sure.
Yeah. So I always say, don't rush. Just baby steps. A turtle. Turtle. You'll get
you know, when normally, if you are a runner and you're watching this video, you know, when we get up the hill, there's a song they will sing, Sizofika. No. Like encouraging song, Sizofika. The aim is to finish this hill and get to the top of it. And they sing that song most of the time, Sizofika. With those baby steps.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah.
Sure. So you mentioned, Ngorem, there was a time where your relationship with your father was not okay. Do you feel that's the reason why you ended up in the wrong hands?
Definitely, 100%.
Do you have any regrets in your childhood?
Yeah, because like I always say to people, that's why I don't stay. If a relationship is smelling funny, I leave. I pack and I leave. I don't care what. I don't compromise, because the reason I say that, with my husband, my late husband, I met him when I was in high school. He was a Greek guy. He was a white guy. And we dated, and there was a lot of toxic things that were happening. I'll just touch on one.
Sure.
He bought me a cell phone, right? He bought the cell phone. I didn't take the cell phone home. He used to call me Tumzani. Tumzani, I'm taking this phone home to charge it. I'll give it to you tomorrow. Mind you, he doesn't have a SIM card. Then the following day, he comes back and he tells me, my boyfriends were calling on this phone that I've never even touched. But because
that was a red flag.
There was a big red flag. But because I had no one to guide me, I thought it was okay. You know, I just said, no, it's not me. I didn't. And then I cried. And then we got back together. Life went on. But when he came back in my life, so we dated, then I broke up with him, had my own townhouse. And I was dating a very nice guy. I still say today, I remember that guy's words saying, please don't leave me. Don't go back to this guy. And I went because he wants to marry me. And it was my first love. I always say to people, meaning, guys, in English, don't vomit your vomit and eat it, because it doesn't taste good.
Nice. Yeah.
Because I would have, if I had not gone back, I would have not been pregnant. And then had experienced him being murdered and my son being murdered. And me having to have nearly been assassinated before my son was born, because I married into a family that I didn't know their family history. So, no.
I want us to go deep into that one.
Yeah.
To have some clarity in it. You're in the dating life and you're meeting this Greek guy that you got married to. How was that? How did you end up Linyalana?
We had broken up. And when he came back in my life, he said, I've changed, you know, better. Then I was like, because he was my first love.
Yeah.
He was my first love, and I took him back. And then when we got back, he said, I'm marrying you. He did the whole lobola thing.
Yeah.
Did everything right. He loved me. To be honest, he loved me. But I think his mother couldn't stand the fact that her one and only son was going to marry a black woman. That's how I think, right? And when I looked at the history of the mom, the dad used to cheat, apparently, with, this is what my husband told me, with black women. And then the mom would tell the son, don't ever date a black girl. Then what does he go do? Date a black girl, marry a black girl, get a black girl pregnant. You understand?
And it's all triggers.
It's all triggers for her. So, me saying yes to him was because it was my first love. You know, I didn't know any better. Didn't know any better. But today, I wish I didn't say yes.
So did you have the relationship with the mother-in-law? How was the relationship between you and the mother-in-law after the marriage?
Let me say, before the marriage, I would go visit and my mother-in-law would sit there and say to me, if you have a colored child, I will drown that baby. But because I was young, I was like, who's gonna drown a baby?
Yeah.
That's crazy, But years later, so no one really, what I'm telling you now, this is exclusive information.
Sure.
I've never released it with anybody.
Okay.
My husband and I, when they got murdered, we had separated because the mom was so involved. She would call and say, is she feeding you chicken feet?
Ooh.
And at that time, like, what chicken feed? We're busy eating here, like our fish, We're having a bride. Like, why would she think? She was very involved, So when she said, I'll drown, I didn't think. So when me and him separated, he went to his mom.
Yeah.
And his mom. So
to live there with the mother.
But the mom started problems with me.
Okay.
For my son because they had money. So she would take Arankisha court or she wants to win my son over.
Yeah.
So then there was a fight between me and her and my husband. And my husband had no backbone. He had no backbone. Yes. Yes. No.
They are everywhere.
Yes. And he didn't have a backbone. So the mom just ran everything. And that day, when I got the call that she had murdered my son, they said that she had drowned him. So meaning that from the day that I was with him, that was her intention.
And the day she said it, I'll drown.
I will drown him. And she did exactly that. So, but God saved me, Solo. Because when I was with him, I didn't leave my husband because I didn't love him.
Yeah.
No. I was sitting in the house and a loud voice that was so loud said, pack everything of yours and leave. You won't understand when I'm saying it because you haven't experienced maybe
like I'm trying to imagine and it's like I'm seeing a movie.
I picked up my phone and I phoned my mother. I said, Mom, I need to pack my stuff. And for some reason, my mom is very inquisitive. She'll ask why.
Yeah.
But that day she just said, okay. I said, send me money. I need to hire a truck because I was a housewife.
Yeah.
Send me money. I need to hire a truck. And she sent me money. And then I moved out. But now when I go back, I was never wanted because me and my husband moved into a townhouse for a week. The side of Bedford, we moved there for a week. And that day that these guys came to the house, for some reason, my dad had given me a car. And then I woke up in the morning and I was pregnant. I think I was like 6-7 months.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? I'm going shopping. I dressed up and I even dressed up corporate. Office, because I missed corporate.
Sure.
And I dressed up and I went to Eastgate.
Yeah.
So I left from 8 o'clock. I shop, I had breakfast. Then something said, go to Lombardi.
Yeah.
And I went to Lombardi to go look for a friend of mine who I knew stayed in Lombardi. Kadula there the whole day until my 6. Then I went home. When I got home and I got to my house, the door was wide open. The TV was gone. And then I got scared. I said, no, this is a house breaking.
Yeah.
I moved back. I went to the security. Only to find out the lady, my neighbor, she says, I saw these guys. These guys were here for more than 3 hours.
Ooh.
They were even smoking cigarettes outside. So only when my husband and my son passed on, then I put 1 and 2 together to, something's not right here. Because when the police came and my dad, they checked the door. They said this was not a break-in. These people opened with a key, meaning that they maybe got a key from my mother-in-law. Because her son and her have a relationship. She says, borrow me your car. She'll check the key number and then open. And these guys had just taken a hammer, they opened the key and just hit the hammer. I mean, the lock, that thing that comes out with the hammer to make it look like
a house break.
Yeah, so those guys, I believe they were there for me. So I was saved the first time, saved the second time when God said, pack everything of yours and leave.
Like as you're speaking, I'm just trying to see what happens.
100%.
When it's not your time, God will shift you and will keep you long a little banking. Skajara, please, when you're stuck in traffic, God is doing something.
Thank you.
When you're stuck in those long queues, relax. Because Nahana, if Ngabo Jarile, and then we could have been speaking of something else.
Relax, yes.
What happened the day they both passed on? Or they both passed on, right?
Yeah, they both passed on.
But what happened?
Before they passed on, Solo, I want to show you the power of God.
Sure.
I think 3 weeks before they passed on, I just said to my parents, I'm going to Moria. I've never been to Moria.
It was your first time.
I'd never been to Moria. Like, I'd been with my grandmother, but
Yeah.
like, I'd never been by myself.
Yeah.
And then I said, I'm going to Moria. My dad said, I'm going to Moria. And I went, Kanamela, I think Nameji Bas. And I went, no clue what I'm going to do there. I went there and I sat there for 3 weeks, praying, talking to my son over the phone. And if I'm not mistaken, my son was with my mom.
Yeah.
Yes. Like a phone, you know, hi, my boy, as much as you couldn't talk,
Yeah.
but, you know.
Yeah.
I sat there praying. And God told me when I was there, you're going to get a very beautiful job, my girl. Very beautiful in a very big company. And I was excited. And I was praying, fasting. I came back, so I got the job.
Ooh,
I got the job. After I got the job, I worked 2 weeks. The week of Easter weekend, I got a call that they had been murdered. And then I was like, how? When? How? What happened? I thought it's a house robbery.
Yeah.
But I'm saying these guys staying in the state.
Yeah.
Like, I forgot now. Valley View Estate here in Midrand.
All right.
Just here, not far from you guys.
It's not the Vona Valley. Oh.
No, Valley View Estate. View Estate. But I was like, house robbery, because I didn't know the information. Only to find out that my mother-in-law shot my husband.
Shot? Like...
Yeah. Shot her own son. Drowned my son.
Oh,
and then she tried to kill herself, commit suicide by cutting her wrist. But she survived. So she was rushed to hospital. But I don't know, she managed to run away. And she killed herself somewhere else.
Oh, she died.
Yeah, she did eventually die.
Sana, then now you are left with questions.
I'm left
with no answers.
No answers. I have no closure for the past 14 years. But I want to lebora Modimo, and I want to thank God and ZCC.
Yeah.
Because I think we never sometimes sit and just say thank you to these old churches because they ground us.
Yeah.
God knew that you need to go there, my child.
Yeah. Something's about to happen.
Something, a bomb is going to happen.
Only in a good space.
In my face.
Yes, in your face.
And I held that situation. I held it so tight. And God put me in a company that supported me. I remember the company that I was working for, it's a multi-billion rand company. They shared. First half of the company came to my house. Second half went to the cemetery.
Sure.
Everyone was so sad. And they didn't know me. They just met me.
Yeah,
but they felt the pain that they had to do that for me. So God, guys.
Oh yes.
Family members, you know how they can be. On my dad's side, especially, they said, "Why Modima some prophet some mocha or No, life doesn't work like that. Lifu kila mutsomulo mongwe, and I don't know hey, yes, you understand? Yes. So God prepared me for my son's death.
Sure.
In my faith, to say, you but I want to hold you, and I'm going to hold you so tight. I remember my father saying, I don't know what to say to you, because even me as a parent, I've never experienced this. He didn't know what to say, because a parent doesn't know how to comfort his own child. He's never experienced it. So, yeah.
When I feel that part in your life, it needs a whole podcast. It needs a day on its own, because I have lots of questions on that topic on its own. But then I want to close it here so that I move to the one that accommodates the happier. So after all this thing, you did find your way back into the dating pool.
Yes, after 2 years.
How was it?
It was good. I had asked God to please give me a child.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily think I wanted the relationship.
Yeah.
So I had a child with a very nice guy. I don't want to badmouth him.
Yeah.
And he's a very nice guy. His family is just not the best.
Okay.
But he's a good guy.
Yeah.
And God gave me a beautiful daughter. Very, very lovely daughter.
Yeah.
And then I had another daughter.
Yeah.
years later. That's a very funny story, which I don't want to touch on too much because for my daughter's sake, I don't want her to feel that she's not loved or anything like that. Do you understand? But I gave you a little bit of a glimpse about it.
Yeah.
But there was a point where I had to leave my daughter.
Yeah.
I had to let her stay with her father at a very small age. I think she was 1 year something. The reason I did that, so the people judged me.
Yeah.
But they don't know my history, my past. I can't ever again.
Yeah.
If someone wants to fight for a child, the father, give that father the child, because the child gets caught in between your fights, and then they will hurt that child to get back. Give that person the child, ne? Abe come, aboye, akipushe, and then when things will come, the God that we pray, He promised my child, I'll bring that child back. The child was just brought back and said, take your child and raise her. And yes.
How did you find co-parenting? Like it's these two beautiful girls that don't share a father, it's from different fathers.
Yes.
And before I get into the co-parenting, how did you navigate with the judgment of people? How was the judgment about how was it?
You know one thing about me, I say if you haven't worn my shoes, don't judge me.
Yeah.
And I don't care what you think about me. But I've never co-parented with any of my baby daddies. I've been blessed to just raise my kids on my own. Because God knows the pain I come from.
Yeah.
And I've never had any maintenance, any support. I do it. I'm the alpha and omega.
Sana.
And I'm okay with it. And I've sat down with my daughters and told them that I'm not saying don't see your fathers.
Yeah.
It's just that right now, it's not the right time. And the reason I say that, it's for the safety of my kids.
Sure.
Because I know there's no normal person that can deny their child happiness.
Yeah.
But sometimes we as women, we're quick to say, the child must go to the father's family.
Yeah.
Kanto, you're going to hurt your child in the process.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So I've raised my kids on my own.
Yeah.
The small one, we tried it.
Yeah.
It didn't work.
Yeah.
It just didn't work.
Yeah.
And that's when he said,
do
you do this thing on your own?
Do they even come to
No.
say, can I please see my daughter?
No.
Can I make time? Because one thing for sure is that there's no woman who should go after a man to make time to see they can take routine maintenance code, which I don't have a problem with. That's finances. But then you can't go after an old man to say, come make time for your child. They have to do it effortlessly. So have they done that?
No. And I won't even complain about it. I'll tell you why.
Why?
Consistency is key.
Sure.
So if someone's not going to be consistent, there's no point in them being there.
Yeah.
Rather not them, don't be there.
At all.
Or be there.
Yeah.
It's either or.
Yeah.
So for me, I always pray to God to say, Lord, let me raise my kids.
Yeah.
Because I've got a certain way of raising my kids.
Yeah.
My kids have structure.
Yeah.
My kids, the small one's very hyper. She's got a little bit of the ADHD.
Sure.
But I've got good kids.
Yeah.
You should see how my kids do their bed. You think they are a 30-year-old.
Yeah.
You know, they're trained nicely. They know how to pray. So I always ask God, let me raise my kids. When they're older, I'll show them I don't have a problem with that, Solo. But my prayer to God, and I know it may sound like I'm selfish.
Sure.
Guys, when I speak to God, He tells me.
And He does the way.
It has to be like this.
Sure.
People can talk. I'm not worried.
So don't you then think, Gore, now as young as they are, I'm just talking from personal experience because I wish my father was there at a young moment where I would say, Daddy will come do it for me. Like, that type of vibe. No, I'll tell my father. Because knowing he's the superhero.
Yeah,
so
true.
don't you think they kind of missing out on that? But I'm asking this because now then if a father is not coming forward,
they don't miss it. They don't know it. So how do you miss something you don't know? I always say, you can't miss something you don't know, Tsolo. That's my belief. Because yes, they hear other kids having their dads and what.
Yeah.
I remember at their school there was a daddy and daughter dance that they had done. And I went to the office. I said, you're going to change this daddy dance. It's gonna be parents dance. Because some of us, our kids don't know their fathers.
Yeah.
We are now at this time, in the moment. We are their fathers
Yeah.
and their mothers. So can you not change it so that it accommodates them, so they don't feel somehow, you know? And even if your father's sometimes your father could have passed on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not necessary only because he's there, but he's not there.
Yeah.
You know, your father could have passed on. So that's why I'm saying it's a very touchy, a sticky topic, having two kids from two different fathers. For me, it's a blessing because my kids only have one. Yeah, it's the same to them, you know. So for me, I'm just asking God to give me the strength to raise my kids, and then when God says, my child, it's the right time.
Sure.
Go there, my angel. Go there, my angel.
Sure. Tumi, I love your story, and I love how you're raising your kids, and I can see already they are happy. I'm not dismissing what you're saying. I want to just tell the people that are watching, as much as she a single parent, I'm still saying today, it's not okay. It's not okay for a woman to raise kids alone. It's not. We can make it look as if we are surviving, it's okay, but regardless of the finances, you can. It's just not okay.
Yeah.
If I were to choose, I wouldn't choose my mother to raise me alone. I wouldn't want that. Number one is taking toll. It took toll on her.
Yeah. True.
Number two, I was denied an opportunity to know what is daddy's love. Hence, now that you're raising girls, you're raising them they become strong, and they wouldn't need a male figure to survive. And as they grow, we don't know like now I got married, my mother sinke anyali, and then I found it's important nice to let a man be in the relationship.
100%.
And I had to learn it through my own marriage.
100%.
And which took a bit of toll. So I'm just saying this, if you are out there, it's still not okay.
Yeah.
As much as we're speaking about it, still, it's not okay. Come forth as fathers for your children. 100%. Come forth. It shouldn't be something that women are going out there to pull you as a dad.
No.
It shouldn't be like that. No. Come forth because it's just not okay.
Yeah. But also, it's that's why I'm saying it's a very sticky situation, Tsolo. I always say to my kids, they will get married.
Yeah.
They're going to meet nice husbands.
Yeah.
Layla, the small one, she always says to my dad, Holo, when I grow up, I'm going to get married. I'm going to have kids. Da, 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 da.
I love
and
that.
My dad teases and says, no, Layla, you must travel the world and go to. She says, "No, Kholo, I'm going to go to university. I'm going to travel the world, but I'm also going to get married and have a husband."
Yeah.
Why is that? Because I don't bash their dads.
Yeah.
No.
That's beautiful.
I don't bash their dads. Trust me, that I don't have time for.
Yeah.
Because it will come back to bite you.
Yeah.
Either way, because the child will grow up and say, "You were the problem." Meanwhile, no. Just don't bash. Do your thing, as a mom. Just love your kids and explain to them that. Your dad, when it's the right time, don't bash them.
So, Tumi, tell me, what are the challenges that you experience as a single mom?
The challenges I face as a single mom is the dating life.
Yeah.
I've got a fear of dating now. The reason I've got a fear of dating is I don't have any other challenges right now but the dating, because the rape stories that are going around by stepdads, this, that. I'm just like, yo, I can't. Yeah, I'm like, yo, I can't. Let me just raise my kids, give it right. And then at the same time, my kids are like, Mommy, you deserve someone.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, so that's the only challenge I have. Otherwise, I'm flowing. Hey, I believe Modimu unkadimile bana baka. And asibana so he gave me an assignment just to guide them through this life journey, and then there's going to be a time where he will take over.
Yes. My ways.
Yes.
Sure. So, then how do you find balance? Balancing you staying active, activities just going. How do you find balance?
I just go with the flow. Every day I take it as it comes. There's a lot of challenges, obviously, with work. Maybe like now Layla wears glasses.
Yeah.
Mommy, I've got a headache. Now I must go spend money. Jadi glassy, you know. Then the tub wakes up, she's got like a little bit of eczema. Then I must spend money. But otherwise, I just go with the flow.
Yeah.
You know, when I wake up at 4 a.m, first thing I do, kakunama, and I tell God that it's going to be a good day.
Yeah.
Even
You
with the
claim it.
challenges that come, I just flow because I generally, honestly, enjoy being a mom.
Oh,
like, you know, I always say there's a lot of parents,
yeah,
but very few parent.
enjoys.
I parent. I'm not a parent. I parent. So at school, I'm an SGB member, school treasurer for my kids' school. I coach the netball team. I'm there. Like, I'm that mom. Like, I make sure that my kids don't feel that gap of me not being there. So I just flow. I just go.
You go with the flow. Yeah.
And I'm praying that God will send someone that is for Tumi.
Yeah.
Not definitely. For anyone else, for Tumi.
This question now, how do you find balance? I don't even know what's balance.
Yeah, you don't know. You just go.
I don't know how to balance. I just go with the flow.
Yeah, you go with the flow.
And let God be.
Yes.
In control of everything.
100%.
Sure. What is self-care? The self-care. Do you even do that?
Now go for a massage.
Sana, I love it for you.
Guys, I'll be back now. Yeah, more like my China I did America.
Yeah.
And life goes on. And I take my kids and I go out a lot.
Yeah.
I spoil my kids.
Yeah.
Like, I want my kids to explore food.
Yeah.
I explore sushi.
And I assume that's love.
Yes, I want my kids to know, no, my mom has bought this for me. I know exactly what this is.
Yeah. What more can you bring?
Yeah, what more can you bring to the table? My mom dresses my mom makes sure I smell of perfume. So you can't charm my kids with small things like that. So yeah, we just flow. We're a happy family. We're a small family that dances, loves each other. There's a lot of love. I can tell. We're content. You know, my kids. I make sure that they're involved in sports. They play tennis. They do the netball. I just try my best to just do my best.
I see. Yeah. But then I still say, as much as you're doing your best, and I'll say most of the time, it might seem like it's about them. Do you have that percentage that you say, this is me, like I'm doing me right now? Not really. I don't have that. Don't you think you need that? I do, but I'm not going to force it. It will come at the right time. Okay. Everything in Alenako. Yeah. There's no normal person that wouldn't want to give themselves time, time. Yeah. I think everyone wants to do that, but everything in Alenako. I think once my business is settled and I can give people to do the work, then I'm able to say, oh, you know what, kids, mom is going for 5 hours. Yeah. I'm going to leave with the nanny. Remember, I've also got anxiety for just leaving my kids with anybody. Sure. So my kids are always with me. Yeah. My kids get handbag. If I say, where's my lipstick? They know. Where's this? They're always with me. Like here today, they're with me. Sure. So I don't know what that is, but I think I'll know it once I find a partner. I think so. Let's go. I go hiking also by myself. Okay. I do. I just wake up in the morning. I think it's part of self-care. Yeah, I go hiking and I enjoy it, and it gives me time to think because I'm an overthinker. So it just gives me time just to relax and think less. Yeah. But strategize nicely. And I'm asking all this, especially the self-care, the balancing, and all of those things, because there was this video that was trending, and then this lady said, the mother died. The mother just fell and died because when they realized Nana stress, she did not rest. That's my worry. Nakongwe, we don't take time to rest and pause so that you regain and then you come back to the motherhood. We are too busy and committed. True. So, I think that's why I said to you on our netball team, I said, guys, I'm not coming this week. Yeah. My body was telling me, I'm going to collapse. Yeah. My body was literally saying, and I think it was good my dad was here. Yeah. Because he took off the weight of fetching the kids. Yeah. I'll come home because I'll leave the kitchen very clean, but I'll soak a pot. Yeah. And I come back and my dad has washed that pot. Dang. So, the other day we got to the office because I didn't do prep the night before. And my father in the morning, he was washing the dishes for me. Yeah. So I think
God knew that 2 weeks I needed my dad there because I could feel that my body is just going to shut down. I felt dizzy and I could feel. That's why I said, no, I'm not coming to Nepal. I need to actually just rest. So
And
I
that
do
was a
rest.
good thing.
I do rest because I've got a very chilled life.
Yeah.
I'm not a busy person. I can have a hoti, I can up and down. It's me and my girls. They watch their movies. Then I go in my room. Then I fall asleep.
You rest and reset.
I rest. Yes,
Yeah.
I rest.
No, that's a great thing. It's important to rest.
Yeah.
I always say, or as much as we should work hard as we can,
also rest.
And when you're resting, stay focused in your resting period.
Chill.
Because when you're resting and now you're thinking, watch it. We're busy in the mind. You're not doing anything. You're just fooling yourself. This is the body that has lied down where now you're busy. So pay attention to your resting period and stay focused in that period. What advice do you have to this young girl? Arha data always pick the wrong ones. And they feel, I'm just not meant for love.
We're all meant for love. I say to people say, no, I've been single for now 3 years. It's going to be 4 years end of this year. People will say, no, you're not normal.
Yeah, not that long.
Remember, I'm not dating for myself now. I'm dating for my kids also. Yes. So I could not just bring some stranger into my home and say, let's date. No. So all I can say to a young girl, do your investigation.
Yeah.
Do a family background check. Yeah. If you've got the money, even hire PI. Because sometimes you marry into... I watched a podcast where a girl got married into a family that... I don't know how... They practice witchcraft.
True.
So it's things like that you need to ask God. Before you sleep with anyone, before you even kiss that guy, pray and ask God, is this the right guy? God will give you a sign.
Yeah.
But if you rush, like Rekasionere... Go slow. Don't
like
rush.
Tortoise.
You're gonna get there.
Yeah.
Walk slowly like a tortoise, but you eventually get there. So, to a young girl, don't rush. Don't rush, because once that guy is with you, you're no longer beautiful.
You're no longer beautiful.
No longer. Focus on. I don't like to push this being dependent.
Yeah.
No. Because life is a balance. We need men.
Yeah.
I always say, I love men.
Yeah.
Now I'll go back. You can hurt me 100 times, I'm going back. You understand? But now because I've got kids, it's different. You know, I can't just be breaking my heart.
The approach is different.
Yes. But I'll just take your time, focus on school. Everything will just fall into place. It's like I say to women, you can't say, Lord, I want a husband. But you're sleeping around with all these different guys. So how is he supposed to bless you with a husband when nobody's?
Yeah.
So
chill, like a wife and wait.
Yes,
for your husband.
And wait to be a wife. Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
What would you say to a single woman? What advice would you give them? Be it in the dating pool, whatever.
Learn to be comfortable with your own space.
Yeah.
Because people think that a relationship completes them.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
In a marriage or a relationship, you're still two individuals.
Yeah. You
still have goals while in that marriage. But people don't know how to compromise.
Yeah.
Relationship is all about compromise.
Yeah.
Just sometimes say sorry for the sake of saying sorry. Sure. And life goes on. But my baby daddies, they will have a different version of me because when it comes to my kids.
Yeah.
No, because of my experience that I had. I lost a child and he was murdered badly. Of course, when it comes to my kids.
Yeah.
There's
traumas.
I'm not even going to compromise. But there's one person that I dated that can simply say, Ola, that was a wife. That was a wife. Because I am a wife.
Yeah.
But you touch my kids. You come there. Yeah. No, the guy I'm doing. Yay. So that's the only thing. Don't touch my kids, then we'll be okay.
So what do you do? Because you are a woman of many heads.
Yeah.
I'm
busy. I've tried a lot of businesses.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they most, not say most, one didn't work out.
Yeah.
Not because I wasn't good at it. I didn't have the right staff.
Sure.
Then God said, go back to your original business that I gave you, which is Odramanyalo in Deco. I studied at the SS School of Weddings.
Events.
Yeah. So I'm back in there. Then God blessed me with to partner up with 3 men, 3 handsome men. I'll say handsome men, to work with them at a venue.
Yeah.
And yes, so that's what I'm currently doing.
Okay.
I've also I shoot very well, by the way. I've got a grade A.
Yeah.
Yes. I've got my competency. So one day I'm hoping to have my security company and my cleaning company, just to have them up and running. And hopefully, with God's grace, I'll open up a shelter for a school for boys.
That's
for
beautiful.
boys, because people always say, let's protect the girl child. The girl child's not the problem. It's the boy child that's the problem. So we need to, foundation, I want to be strong from the beginning.
You know, you are the second person speaking and addressing Tabaya, the boy child, on this podcast.
Yeah.
And I feel already there's a calling. There's actually an assignment where we have to hold each other's hand.
Yeah.
A lady was here, abulela ka gore the boy child, ba mo tswaleletse kantle.
100%.
We need to come together.
There's no day that says bring a boy child to work.
Yeah. They mentioned the very same thing that you're saying, or there's a girl child to work. And then what happens to the boy child?
Why are we neglecting them? These are the fathers that we
These
need
are
to
the
build.
heads.
Yes.
These are the leaders.
Yes. So you're taking the neck and making the neck lead.
The head.
How is it when the head comes, there's no control?
Sana.
Because the head was never built on structure.
Sure. Off camera, you also mentioned the podcasting thingy that I feel the audience might be interested, because I know definitely whatever that's there to change someone's life, it's a need, it's a necessity.
True.
So the podcast that's coming.
Yes. It took a while. I was building the podcast. I think now it's been 2 months building, and then I stopped. It's called Life Lessons with Tumi Motsepe.
Okay.
So this podcast, it's speak about life lessons, people that have faced tragedy.
Yeah.
Because it's always nicer to speak to someone who's walked those shoes. And then people like yourself, you know, because me having 2 kids from 2 different fathers, I know I'm going to be in a blended family.
Sure.
So it's topics that, like, speaking about all life's lessons and involving also the Department of Education, because they're failing our kids when it comes to sports. So I want to bring Gayton Mackenzie to say, let's speak, because sports starts at primary school.
Yeah.
But they're not investing in our sports facilities. Our black schools are deteriorating. Black people are taking their kids out to private schools. Why are we not investing back in our government schools? What's going to happen? We are creating ditsotsi, le banyana ba ditsotsi in our schools, because there is no structure.
There isn't.
There's no structure. I'll be easy. There's no investment in our black schools. We get these schools that were built, but we bring them down.
Oh, guys, everyone has a gap to fill. This year when I sat down, January, I had a vision of filling in the gap. My diary ka momorago in the part that says fill in the gap 2025 word of the year. And I've realized that everyone that comes here, they are in a space of wanting to fill the gap.
True.
So as a human being, wherever you are, check what is it that you can do to fill in the gap. Is it something that you can partner with somebody, come together, like she's speaking of sports, you go hand in hand with her, you go fill in that gap. Because there is a gap somehow.
100%.
Somewhere there is a gap. Look at yourself. Or a gap, it's there in the Bible. It's what Ezekiel is something. I even know the chapter where God said, I've called in those to fill in the gap, to come in. Son, Dumelang, thank you so much.
Thank you so much
for making time to sit with us and sharing your story, sharing your journey. It's through testimonies that we turn around.
True.
And Rebona Matla Amudimu. Mudimu says, even in the Bible, Lord, go out there and share the testimony.
100%.
Because it is the testimony that will bring the people to me. Testimony that will bring hope in people's life. Someone is looking at you and I've got 2 different baby daddies. I'll never get married. And they see you smile, saying, I still believe in love. Yeah. And then now you gave that lady courage. So even if it's a small thing, as long as it's making a difference.
It's true.
We want it.
100%.
Guys, this video will end here. Make sure that you do like, you do share. Above all, you subscribe, comment, leave that beautiful heart in the comment section to show that we're speaking to someone. A moment there is no movement, there is silent on this platform. then we feel like nobody is hearing us. So interaction, it gives us strength. So please make sure that you do the right thing. Let me love and leave you from Bond and Blend with Maletswalo, the team. Sizodibona on the next coming video.